Who am I? A question easier asked than answered. I find myself changing by the hour. One moment I am brave, the next afraid. I resolve to be calm, and yet I shout. I swear off wine and drink by evening. I do not apologize for contradiction. Contradiction is the shape of life. A river that runs straight is a canal, not a soul. To know oneself is the greatest challenge. To live with oneself the greatest art. I have studied Plato, Seneca, Cicero, Aristotle. None have confused me as much as myself. Part 2 on death. Death the teacher no man escapes. To philosophize is to learn how to die, said Cicero. I agree. I have walked through plague. I have watched bodies lowered into earth. I have read prayers beside corpses and smelled the rot of flesh. Death is not distant. It is beside us always. And so I do not flee from the thought. I welcome it. I meditate on death daily. Why? Because to understand death is to understand life. He who fears death dies every day. He who accepts it dies but once and dies well. Part 3 on education. We fill children's minds with facts, like jars stuffed with stones, but we do not teach them how to think. The wise child is not the obedient child, but the questioning one. Let him doubt. Let him argue. Let him challenge even the teacher. The goal of education is not memory, but judgment. Not imitation, but creation. Let us raise minds, not parrots. Part 4 on custom. What we call truth is often habit in disguise. The cannibal eats his enemy and calls it honor. We hang ours and call it justice. I do not condemn one and praise the other. I say, look again. Custom blinds us. That which is familiar becomes sacred. That which is strange becomes sin. But virtue has no borders, and truth wears no uniform. We must examine what we take for granted or become prisoners of invisible chains. Part 5 on friendship. I once had a friend, a true friend, Etienne de la Bodie. He did not flatter me. He did not serve me. He saw me. We share a unity of soul I have never known before or since. It was not passion. It was not dependence. It was recognition, as if two mirrors reflected one another infinitely. When he died, I felt a part of me collapse. I have lived since, but not entirely. Such friendship is not chosen. It chooses us once in 1,000 years. Part 6 on physicality. The body is not shameful. It is human. I write digestion, flatulence, illness, desire, not to shock, but to acknowledge. We are flesh, not merely spirit. To deny the body is to deny half of truth. The philosopher who will not speak of his bowels cannot speak of his soul. I grow old. My joints ache. My teeth loosen. My stomach rebels. This too is knowledge. Let us embrace our animal side with grace, not guilt. Part 7 on ignorance. The more I read, the more I doubt. The scholar who has never doubted is a tyrant in disguise. He claims truth, but fears inquiry. I say what I know. Que sais-je? This has become my motto. Doubt is not weakness. It is wisdom's beginning. Let us be bold enough to admit how little we know and humble enough to keep learning. Part 8 on virtue. Virtue is not sainthood. It is balance. The man who denies all pleasure is not virtuous, he is brittle. The man who indulges every desire is not free, he is enslaved. Virtue is found in moderation, in self-awareness, in choosing the good when we might have chosen comfort. Not to be perfect, but to be sincere. Part novena, on animals. We assume superiority. But why? The cat does not envy. The horse does not lie. The bird does not betray. We humans are the only animal that kills for words, for pride, for the ghosts in our heads. Let us not be so quick to call ourselves divine. Part 10 on experience. Books are lanterns, but the path must be walked. I have read of courage, but I learned it when I trembled and stood firm. I have read of love, but I understood it when I wept for its loss. No idea, no word, no theory can replace experience. Let life teach you through pain, joy, hunger, laughter, silence. Truth is not a sentence. It is a scar. Part 11 on the passage of time. Time erodes us not cruelly, but indifferently. I once ran, rode, danced. Now I walk slowly. Age brings humility. The fire dims, but the flame is truer. Do not mourn your younger self. Greet your older one with kindness. Every wrinkle is a memory. Every gray hair a lesson. Part 12, conclusion. I have not taught. I have shared. I have not dictated. I have reflected. If you have found wisdom here, it is not mine, it is yours, reflected. I die as I lived uncertain, searching human. Let these words remain, if they help. If not, let them vanish like the breath that carried them. Farewell, fellow traveler. Live well. Device. Doubt nobly. Love fully. And above all, know thyself not as a god, but as a man. Michel de Montaigne.